Yeah, look, it was something I had to come to terms with. Watching his tapes, he's had 26 odd fights, and he seems like a bit of a spoiler. You know, all his fights are pretty boring, and he makes guys who are better than him look worse, or beats guys who are better than him because he lures them into his game. So for me, I kind of got a bit caught up in him running away and stopped pulling the trigger on some of my shots. But you know, all in all, I came out with a win. It was 8 months off fighting, so it was a bit of ring rust there, a bit of nerves. You know, fighting in your home country is great, but you know, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, especially coming up 2 losses. You know, the loss against Kunamoto in Saitama and the loss against Joban. You know, so this was, you know, my head was on the chopping board potentially, and you know, I fought a little bit nervous, but got the win.
How good did it feel, and how relieving was it? Obviously, you mentioned coming off 2 losses. You last fought in February to cap off the year so well on such a big card.
Yeah.
You know, in your home country.
Yeah, look, mate, it's always a bonus to win the fight. You know, but win or lose, the biggest bonus for me is putting in a good performance and being proud of what you've done. I could have lost that fight, but if I fought the best I could, I'd be happy. You know, and for me, it was a so-so performance. You know, I got the win, but I'm not totally satisfied with it. But of course, you know, I'm going to be happy tonight after, you know, everything settles down and then I can have a few beers. But again, you know, it wasn't what I expected, but whatever. You know, let's roll with it.
There was a bit of trash talk going into this one. Steve had some things to say about the fight. How much of that influenced you? Were you a little bit emotional in this one, or did you just block it out when it came time to fight?
Yeah, look, I don't get emotionally attached to what my opponent's saying or say. It was more so, you know, internal, you know, the internal chatter. You know, you haven't fought in 8 months, you're coming off losses. This is important to me. You know, anything you love, you know, sometimes it makes you sick. You know, you feel a lot of emotion leading up to it, and that's the reason you do it. You know, and it's moments like this, you know, when you walk out and you got to hold your balls in your hand and know you're a fucking man. You know. So
how frustrating was it towards the end of the round, towards the end of the fight, where he was sort of just playing on his back, waiting for you to go into his guard, not really engaging?
Yeah, like I said, like Kennedy's a spoiler. Like, he tries to make you look shit. He's lying on his back, and I could see he was tired. And you know, at that stage where he was beat, you know, and my corner was yelling out, "Stay standing," and I was beat on the feet, man. I was tired. Like, my legs are just freaking tired today. But excuses aside, it was a fight, you know, and he's in the UFC for a reason. He made my life hard.
You mentioned that you had a big break in between fights. Now that you're back into it, how soon do you want to get back in the octagon? It looks like you've got a few bruises in your face, but without any serious injuries. How soon do you want to get back in the octagon?
Look, man, I'm just looking forward to that beer and Christmas time, you know. I don't want to jump in back before then, but honestly, I'd like to fight in Australia again. First time fighting with the UFC here, and what an event, you know. It's a monumental occasion fighting here in Melbourne with such a big crowd, and I've got, you know, over 100, 150 people coming out from Sydney to watch me, so, you know, it means a lot to me, and to fight in Australia is a big deal, you know. For me, I've been overseas, I spoke to Pete before, and you know, trying to find food and stuff around before fights over there, it's not enjoyable. A holiday overseas is enjoyable, fighting overseas isn't. I'd rather fight here with my home crowd, my crew, my team, my way. So I want to fight next time the UFC's in Australia.
Your boy Dan Kelly just won. How good is that for you?
It means a lot to me, man. Like, Daniel is you know, a bit of a mentor to a lot of the Aussie fighters, and you know, it makes me cry just talking about him, but he's a good guy.
Have you guys had a pretty special relationship leading into the fights? Can you talk a little bit about that relationship?
Yeah, look, Daniel's someone like everyone looks up to, and he's just a good guy. He's the toughest guy I know, and yeah, I'm happy to do one.
Why are you emotional, right? Why are you so emotional, right?
I don't know. Cats. Yeah.
What kind of beer are you going to drink afterwards?
Any beer. I don't know what drinks, so I'll drink whatever I get my hands on. You know, it's been a while, man. It's been a long road.
A few shots as well?
What's that?
A few shots as well?
I think so.